Welcome to a new Let's Play. This one is 2 Point Hospital, which, if you're old enough and you remember the Bullfrog game Theme Hospital, apparently the guys that made that made this, or some of them, and it's similar in nature to that. It's been around for a while now, and I actually spent a bit of time playing it. It's been in my Steam library for a while and I'd never got around to playing it, so I finally spent a bit of time playing it. And so I enjoyed it, so I thought I'd record it. The idea of 2 Point Hospital is you are given various hospitals and you've got to get them to 1, 2 and 3 stars, and they have some weird and wonderful funny diseases. Begin your career as a hospital administrator. Learn the basics of the job by establishing your first hospital. Yes, I have done a larger number of these hospitals in a different save. However, I figured I'd start again from the beginning. I've turned off the music and I've also turned off the DJ in the hospital because they play a variety of music and I didn't want the copyright violations on the YouTube video. But however, there are going to be lots of noises and announcements. Okay, 2 Point Hospital, welcome to 2 Point County. Are you ready to start building your first hospital and curing some patients? Sort of. Looking around the hospital, first things first, you probably want to have a look around. To move around the hospital, hold the right mouse button and drag, or move the cursor to the edge of the screen, or use the WSAD keys. Zoom in with the mouse wheel and rotate and pitch with the middle mouse button. I.e., just like any type of movement type game. I have a little advisor who comes up. The first thing the hospital will need is a reception. Patients will head there when they arrive at the hospital. Let's build a reception desk near the entrance. Sure, let me... how do I do this again? I've forgotten. That's how I rotate. So I can see my hospital a bit better. Right, click on the items, find a reception, and rotate it. And we'll have people come into about there. One reception desk. Great, we'll need an assistant to run reception. Let's hire one now. Click the hire button and select assistants to view the job applicants. Just to make sure I'm putting this on pause so I don't get any people wandering around my hospital. Assistants. Okay, they have various qualifications. This one's better at customer service and also moves faster. This one's happy. This one's okay at customer service, and they all cost various prices. I'll select that one and hire them. And dump them near reception. Okay. They can sit down. General Practitioner's Office. Great. Before we officially open, we need a GP's office. Patients will visit a doctor working as a general practitioner at each stage of diagnosis. The GP will assess the patients and decide if they are ready for treatment or if they require further diagnosis. Let's build a GP's office now. To build a room, click on the Rooms button and pick one from the list. With the room selected, drag out a floor plan of the appropriate size, then place required items in the room. I'm just wondering where I want to put my GP's office. I'm thinking... yeah, I'll put one over here. Okay, GP's office costs various amounts of money. Build the room. You can build it like that. I will build it slightly wider than I need it to be. I will put the door... do I really want to build the GP's office here? I'm just thinking. Actually... yes, I do, but I want to remove the reception desk. Okay, now I want to put a desk in here.
It's possible that you're the only one hearing this. Hello.
I do love the announcements. I need to put a file cabinet in there. The only things that are actually necessary, however, Let's drag out a floor plan, a minimum of 3x3, place a door, office desk and filing cabinet, then click the green tick. Okay. I'm actually going to put a second file cabinet in there. It makes the prestige of the office level 2. Right. I'll click that. There's my GP's office. Excellent. Now we need a doctor to run the GP's office. Hire one now. Certainly. But before we do that, I'm going to pick this up, rotate it, put it over there. That way I'll have more space for other things I want. Doctors. Okay. Doctors, some have a... Well, I'm on assistance. Some have a treatment skill, but for a GP's office, general practice, increase the diagnostic skills in the GP's office, or I can have one with treatment and GP skills. At the moment, I just need a GP. I have no actual cures, so get in there. Hospital open. Good news, our hospital is now open for business. Patients are starting to arrive. After they register at reception, they'll be sent to the GP for diagnosis. Zooming and rotating, zoom in and out using the mouse wheel, rotate, yada yada yada. Yeah, we know that. Keep an eye on our first patient as they head for diagnosis at the GP's office. Yeah, I don't currently have them. Here they come. What I can do is put a bench outside the GP's office so they've got somewhere to sit. And how much money do I actually have? Oh, it's down the right. I've got 200,000.
Register your body for compost donation today. Help the grass be greener from the other side.
Got a drinks machine and a snack machine over there. There's my patient in the GP's office. Right. We've diagnosed our first patient. The GP has sent you a message. Have a look at the message list on the bottom right. Looks like we need to build a pharmacy to treat the patient. Pharmacy required. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, gout. Gout is frequently transmitted in bathrooms, and modern medication is effective, unlike earlier times when it had to be dug out painfully with a screwdriver. The patient is seeking treatment. We will need a pharmacy in order to treat them. It will cost $7,600 to build. What would you like us to do? Send the patient home or get them to wait? They can wait. Now I'm going to pause the game while I do this. I'm actually going to build the pharmacy. I'm going to build the pharmacy over here. I'll make it slightly bigger than it needs to be. Put the door there. Put the machine there. Again, I will put a file cabinet in there, even though it doesn't need one, and a fire extinguisher, even though, again, it doesn't really need one. And that'll do. But of course, I now need a nurse. Build a pharmacy and hire a nurse.
Pharmacy.
Correct.
Calling nurse.
These nurses have no additional skills, so it doesn't really matter which one I hire. There you go. Now we have everything we need to diagnose and cure a simple illness. Let's leave our staff up to the new task. This is the pharmacy machine. The funniest thing about Theme, or the most amusing thing about Theme, oh sorry, I was going to call it Theme Hospital. 2 Point Hospital is normally the treatments. This is what the pharmacy machine does. Then it comes out with a drink through that slot. Guy drinks it and is, in this case, cured. Patient cured. Well done. We've cured our first patient. We've earned some money and the hospital's reputation is improved, which will attract more patients. When a doctor or nurse treats a patient, their ability will influence the chance of success. Some illnesses are tougher than others. Continue diagnosing and treating patients to keep the money come in so we can expand the hospital.
We've just cured our very first patient.
Hospital reputation increases with each patient successfully cured, but decreases when a treatment fails, especially if a patient dies. A higher reputation attracts more patients and better staff for hire. So I can click on any, or hover over anyone. This one's also got grout. Janitors and maintenance. Now we've got some expensive machinery, we should think about looking after it. Machines will deteriorate with use and will need repairing from time to time. If a machine falls into disrepair, it can be a fire hazard. Fires are generally considered bad for business. Hire a janitor to maintain machines while you're at it and make sure you've got some fire extinguishers nearby. Better safe than sorry, right? Which is why I put a fire extinguisher near that machine. So I need to hire a janitor. This one is good at maintenance. That one's not bad at maintenance. He's got some stamina, and this one captures ghosts if people die. I will hire the maintenance guy, and I'll also hire the ghost guy just in case I ever need to catch a ghost. Now, they will complain that there is not enough for them to do. I have also put a drink and snack machine over there. And there are other items I can now use. Let's put in a leaflet stand. Give the patient something to read. And if I put in a plant or two, you will see certain areas of the hospital go greenish.
Travel information. Buses to the hospital will be busier than buses from the hospital.
If I can put it in plants there, it just makes the hospital nicer and more attractive. So far, so good. Oh, placed for 2 extinguishers. You want me to place a second fire extinguisher? Okay. That's my next job, is it? Alright, we'll put one there. We don't need one there, but that's life. Janitors will be called to repair machines when maintenance, yada yada yada. It's important to keep your staff and patients happy to ensure hospital runs smoothly. Patients will get bored, thirsty and hungry over time. Make sure they have access to entertainment, food, drinks and a comfy seat while they're between appointments. If they become happy, they will leave to go to another hospital. Okay, that's just how to control things. Right. Now, one of the other things my hospital is going to need is a staff room. So, I can't build one yet, it won't let me. Staff, thank you. Staff energy and break. Staff get tired as they work and want to go on a break. A staff room will help them relax and return to work energized. Drinks and snacks help keep them happy too. If you make a room larger and fill it with interesting items, it will be considered more prestigious. People using a high prestige room will become happier. A nice staff room will help the staff regain energy faster. So, if we just hold on a second. Right, let me find out where my space is. I'm going to put a staff room, assuming I can now build one, here. Put the door there. Okay, we'll put a couch there. Spin this thing around. Put a couch down there. Some lockers. I'll also give them their own drinks machine and their own snack machine. They won't be that profitable, but it makes the room nicer. It's now prestige level 3. We'll even give them a bin and a plant or two. I'll put an armchair over here as well. There you go. They've now got a staff room. There's a whole variety of ways you can actually make your hospital. This is just a convenient way. Right, let me unpause it. Staff room. Staff will head to a staff room when they're on a break. Fill the room with interesting items to help them become fully refreshed before their break ends. Note, you can place a member of the staff in the staff room to make them take a break, or in a work room to make them work there. Pick a member of the staff, hover over them, and hold the left mouse button. So I can literally pick them up and throw them in there. Charlie work. Drinks and snacks are great for keeping people happy, but they can lead to littering if there's no bins nearby. While we're at it, staff and patients will get pretty grumpy if they don't have access to any toilets. You might want to invest in some quality porcelain. Janitors will help maintain all of these, restocking vending machines, sweeping up litter, emptying bins, and unblocking toilets. Good. So now we have a toilet available. Make it a reasonable size. Put the entrance to it. Can't put it there. We'll put the entrance to it there. Spin these toilets round. These are unisex toilets. You can actually designate toilets to be used by specific genders. Put a sink there. We'll put one about there and one about there. It's kind of a high prestige room, this.
Do you ever feel like someone's watching?
Put some hand dryers, put a bin in, put some plants in to make it slightly more attractive. And we'll even put a fire extinguisher in there. Doesn't need a fire extinguisher, but that's made slightly nicer. Okay. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, clamp. Once this grips a patient, it doesn't let go. Afflicts many living statues and selfie-taking chumps. We'll send the patient for treatment in our pharmacy. So we've got clamp and grout. Further diagnosis. We're hearing reports of a new illness in town that might be harder to diagnose. We may need to build a new diagnosis room. If a GP isn't certain, they will send a patient for further diagnosis. General diagnosis now unlocked. General diagnosis, I will put here. As you expand the hospital with more rooms and staff, the hospital level increases. A larger hospital attracts more patients. As the hospital gets busier, queues may start to get long. We may need to build more GP's offices and other rooms and hire more staff to deal with the extra patients. Look out for queue warnings above rooms. You can also hover a room to highlight the people queuing for that room. Okay. Let me cancel that. General diagnosis we will now put over here. I'll put a scanner there, a little bed there. Give it a couple of filing cabinets to make it slightly more prestigious. And a bin and a plant to make it look a bit more attractive. And that's the general diagnosis room, and that requires a nurse. And this one has diagnosis skills, so I'll hire them and shove them in there. Equally, I should be able to copy that room rather than have to rebuild it and place it there. So now I have 2 GP rooms. And we'll take the more expensive doctor and shove him in there. And I will build a room in here.
Attention. Could any loose kudos please be handed in at reception? Thank you.
And now I've unlocked the thing called ward. Okay. Newsflash. There's a peculiar new illness in town, lightheadedness. We're going to need some expensive new equipment to deal with this. Continue expanding the hospital to unlock the treatment room. We may also need another GP's office and some more staff to keep on top of things. Yes. What I am going to do is put a bench or 2 outside general diagnosis and the GP's office. I don't really need one outside the toilet, but you can have one anyway. Earn 15,000 to unlock the Deluxe Clinic. Get hospital to level 4, currently level 3. Okay. So it did say it's unlocked the room ward, which good place to put a ward down this way with a nurse's desk. A couple of changing areas. Say a couple. At the moment. Right. That's enough beds. Another screen over there. A locker. And a filing cabinet. There. That should probably do for now for the ward. Wards can be used for diagnosis and also treat a range of illnesses. A nurse is required to admit each patient, look after them and discharge them when they're ready to leave. Add multiple beds to a ward to deal with more than one patient at a time. You can also adjust the number of nurses that should work there in the room settings. This is useful if you have lots of patients. Yes.
Don't interact with other patients. You don't know where they've been.
I will just hire a couple more nurses because I can. And I am going to need another assistant as a spare. Get over there. We might have too many nurses. Several are currently idle. Yes, they are. I am hiring in advance of when I need people right now. And we'll take you and shove you in there. You can always go rest. New illness. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, bed face. It's quite alarming contortion of the face caused by sleeping at a strange angle. Doctors recommend always using a bed protector to monitor your sleeping angles. We'll send the patient for treatment in our ward. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, misery guts. Chronic grumpiness due to nihilistic semicolon. We'll send the patients for treatment in our pharmacy. Okay. So someone's going to be going to the ward. Now I want 2 nurses in there. So these 2 nurses can go work in the ward. I have 1 for general diagnosis and 1 for the pharmacy. I have a spare doctor and I have a couple of janitors and a spare assistant. And I've almost earned the amount of money. What illness have you got? Grout. Okay.
Fire test.
I
Please
failed to cure that guy.
there's a fire.
I like that one. Fire test. Please pretend there's a fire. Okay, I need just a little more money. Should get it from diagnosing this guy, Lara Thwackhammer. Unlocked the Deluxe Clinic. The Deluxe Clinic cures patients with lightheadedness, unscrewing heads since 2017. Hospital star rating. The 2 Point Health Ministry is keen to recognise the achievements of every hospital in the county. If we can build a hospital that satisfies the needs of the local area, the hospital will win an official star rating. This will be great for our organisation. Not only does each star come with associated rewards, but allow us to establish new hospitals around the country. Continue to expand the hospital to acquire a 1-star rating. Kudos. By completing objectives and challenges, our organisation earns kudos. We can use this to gain access to new items. Take a look at the items list. Any list with a padlock on it can be unlocked using K. Best of all, we can then purchase that item in any of our hospitals. Use it wisely. Yes. Wonderful and all that. But I need my Deluxe Clinic. That's 3 wide. Make it that big. And we'll put the door over here. This is the Deluxe thing. Plant over there. And a fire extinguisher. Somewhere. We'll put it on over in that corner. Right, and that's that room. That actually requires a doctor. But see this guy with a light bulb, or that person with a light bulb over their head, even though they haven't been diagnosed yet, that's where they'll need to go. Somebody just die? What did I just get that wonderful noise for? New illness, lightheadedness discovered. Our doctors have discovered a new illness, lightheadedness. Lightheaded patients are notable due to their bulbous heads. We'll send the patient for treatment in our Deluxe Clinic. The thing I just built. comes a doctor. A student doctor, to be precise. Oh, okay, yeah, somebody just died. Treatment failed, bed face, and the skull I've got over them means they've just died. Now, which of my janitors does ghosts? Because if this guy turns into a ghost, well, we'll see what happens in a second. One dead. Yeah, I've now got a ghost running around my hospital, so this janitor is going to come along with a little handheld vacuum cleaner and vacuum up the ghost.
If you have any questions, first ask yourself why that might be.
I love the announcements in this hospital. Right. Sad news, our first patient death. Patients can die if treatment fails, or if they're waiting too long and their health deteriorates, the hospital reputation will suffer as a result. The chance a patient will return to haunt the hospital. This happens, we need a janitor with a ghost capture qualification. That's just what I explained. Ghosts, when a patient dies, sometimes a part of them remains. The most terrifying part, sadly, this can be quite upsetting for those of us still clinging onto life. Not only that, ghosts are messy blighters, leaving a trail of ectoplasm. They also have a habit of dematerializing and popping up elsewhere. Who should we call? A janitor with a ghost capture qualification, of course. They are fully trained with the latest auto-psychic ghost suction technology. In future, we may even be able to harvest spiritual matter for use in our research teams. That's very true. This person is due for promotion from student nurse to junior nurse. They get a training slot, better movement, diagnosis and treatment skills, so we will promote them. And same with this janitor. And you can see the one I just promoted, he's walking around with a big star on his head. And this is the light treatment place. Comes down with a big claw, unscrews the light bulb.
Plants need water.
And then it generates a new head. Which then gets shoved on top of their neck. And in this case, they died. It failed, they died. But normally, if that works, they will walk away with a new head. Now, I'm doing all of that. Yeah, there we go. Another dead person in my hospital. Oh, new illness, bogwarts discovered. Our doctors discovered a new illness, bogwarts. A rather disgusting skin condition caused by filthy toilets. It can be cured with an expensive cocktail of drugs currently prepared in the pharmacy or with witchcraft. We'll send the patient for treatment in our pharmacy. What I wanted to do, while that was going on, put a couple of benches outside that place. I also decided I want to pick that up, put it closer to there, and put another bench also outside the pharmacy. Pick that up for the same reason. Patients are more liable to use that if they can get to it. I've got to cure 3 patients with lightheadedness to get a 1-star hospital. So I need some patients who have got their heads flashing like light bulbs. There's a patient in the ward who's currently there for bed face. Here comes one with a light bulb over his head, or their head. Swivel round this way. Let's see how well we diagnose the man. Oh, 100% diagnosis, and they've got a bit of extra happiness. So off they should go down to this area, where they will wait for a doctor to come and try and cure them.
If you smell something suspicious, please fill out form 37B.
He got cured from bed face. Come into the wonderful Deluxe Clinic, Mr. Man with a light bulb on your head. Like all those old jokes. What do you call a man with a lighthouse on his head? Cliff. What do you call a man with a spade in his head? Doug. What do you call a man without a spade in his head? Douglas. Yes, they're really terrible old jokes, but in fact a man is having a light bulb removed from their head. Is he going to live through? Oh, he actually lived through this one. So that's cured another lightheadedness person. So I need one more to get 3 patients with lightheadedness, so I can get a 1-star hospital. I'm not going to be able to do anything else. So what I can do is, while I'm here, is I have 70k, which I've earned for various things, if memory serves me correctly, and 70k isn't going to allow me to do much. I can unlock a big bin, so that's one item I can unlock. I don't want to unlock a small air conditioning unit. Is there anything else I can particularly unlock? Oh, I can unlock either a magazine rack or a sweet dispenser, so I'll unlock a magazine rack. It'll give the patient something to read while they're waiting. Yeah, I spent my 70k. I'm just waiting for one more man to come in with a light bulb in his head. What are you? Oh, you were cured with bedface.
Patients are asked to wait their turn.
There's another one with bedface. Yeah, I'll spin it round again. In the ward, they come in, they get changed, then they go stand beside a bed, and then they wait in their bed for a doctor to come and tell them to, well, stand beside it, the doctor comes and tells them to get into bed, and when they've been there long enough, the doctor tells them to leave the bed. And they're either cured or they're not, or they're diagnosed or they're not. And here comes another person with a light bulb on their head. You were cured from your clamp. He's 95% diagnosed, and I think by default the threshold is 90% diagnosis is good enough to send them for treatment. So this guy's going to go into the Deluxe Clinic. No waiting required. And then spin the thing around again so I can watch the light bulb come off his head and see if it actually cures him. This is the cute thing. It was cute in Theme Hospital as well.
In staff room.
Is the unique illnesses and treatments. There was one in Theme Hospital where it was floaty face, a big puffed up face. It popped it with a huge pin, then blew your face back up to a normal size. Dear Hospital Administrator, 1-star hospital. Congratulations, your hospital has been awarded a 1-star rating. That's at 1 out of a possible 3 by the 2-point Health Ministry. I have retrieved your file from my bin to celebrate. Continue to develop your enterprise in Hogsport for further esteem and trinkets. If you believe you're capable of more. Alternatively, run before you can walk and begin to expand your organisation by opening a new hospital in Lower Bullocks. The choice, as they say, is yours. Yours fragrantly, Tarquin Foxbridge, Health Minister. Okay, well, that is where I'm going to end the episode. But I now have a 1-star hospital, and I will continue to expand on it. Let's promote that guy until I've made it 3 stars over the forthcoming episodes. So we'll see how it goes from here. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you down the road for more weird illnesses in 2-Point Hospital. Cheerio!